God says, it's finally over. Your soulmate said goodbye for good. My beloved, listen close. The sky has opened a secret, and the silence that followed was not empty, it was preparation. For too long your heart has carried a quiet storm, 1,000 unfinished prayers folded into small, stubborn weights inside your chest. Tonight God says those weights are being returned, gently, tenderly, like a shepherd lifting stones from the path so your feet can walk free. This is not punishment or cruelty, it is the closing of a chapter written in shadow so the next pages can be soaked in light. Breathe with me now, because what comes after a goodbye is a beginning that the angels have been quietly tending while you were learning how to let go. Hear this, the goodbye you feared was necessary, and its truth has been sharper than any blade because it needed to cut what was holding you back. Sometimes love arrives as a mirror and sometimes it departs as a teacher. Either way, God says the lesson is finished. Do not mistake this ending for defeat. It is the last unkindness leaving your house. The door closes and in that hush something holy moves in to rearrange the furniture of your soul. All the small betrayals, the missed words, the awkward silences, they were cobwebs on a window. The wind has blown them away and now you can see farther than you thought possible. Keep your eyes steady. Keep your heart open. This closing is a clearing. You might feel loss as a heavy blanket tonight, cold and familiar, but God is whispering, what feels like absence right now is actually a sacred unveiling. Imagine a theater where the curtain falls one last time on an actor who only ever played a role for you to learn how to notice truth. The play ends and the stage breathes. In that breath, the light that enters is full of new names, new promises, and a softer language that understands you. Archangel hands are smoothing out the map God has drawn for you. There is no hurry, only the kind, patient repair of a life being rebuilt. Trust that the one who left made space, not out of spite, but because destiny cannot bloom while its soil is crowded with doubt. Do not rush to mend what was never meant to last. God asks you to mourn with dignity, not with despair. Let your tears water the ground where your future will grow. Let the quiet that follows be your teacher. Listen to how your own heart now speaks back, unedited, clear as a bell. In this silence you will begin to hear the small urgings you once ignored, an invitation to rediscover the rhythms of your own smile, the slow miracle of waking up to sunlight that knows your name. Your soulmate's goodbye was not the end of love, it was the end of a version of love that fit poorly. A better love is not a replacement, it is a refinement, softer, truer, and kinder to who you really are. God knows the questions burning in you. Why did this happen? Was I not enough? Did I fail? He says, none of that darkness defines you. You were never meant to be measured by someone else's leaving. You were never meant to carry the story of their choices as if they were stitches in your soul. The person who walked away carried their own reasons, and those reasons do not shrink your worth. The universe is rearranging itself around your clarity, and every moment you choose to stand tall in that clarity, a new door brightens. This is a season of being chosen again, chosen by life, by grace, by a love that honors you instead of erasing you. Now, feel this. God is bringing a gentle army of small mercies to your doorstep, mornings that arrive without knots in your stomach, conversations that return your voice, sleep that repairs and dreams that point forward. These mercies will not explode into your life like sudden fireworks. They will arrive like steady lanterns on a long road, each one lighting another confident step. You will begin to meet people who match the quiet truth you have worked hard to keep, not because you were lonely, but because you practiced being whole. Your heart, refined by fire, will recognize what is real immediately and will no longer be fooled by glitter. If you listen carefully, you will hear God say one more thing: be gentle with yourself. Let patience be your garment and curiosity your companion. There will be days when old echoes will return, familiar songs, familiar ghosts, and that is okay, they are part of the map. Use them to teach you where the old bridges were so you don't cross them again. Use them to sharpen your boundaries and deepen your gratitude for small joys. And when you are ready, allow laughter to come back into your mouth like a visitor who stayed too long away, because laughter is a sign that healing has set a table and invited joy to sit. Tonight the goodbye has closed a door you didn't know was stuck. Dawn will find you lighter, not because something miraculous removed your pain overnight, but because you have begun to carry it differently. You are learning to carry it as a memory, not a burden. God says, this is your clearing, this is your permission to breathe. Your future loves, your future songs, your future quiet breakfasts, they are all waiting patiently on the other side of your grief. Walk forward when you can. Move slowly when you must. Honor the past, but do not live inside it. The soul that loved and lost is the same soul that learns to choose itself next. So stay with this truth a while. Endings are how life clears space for new mercy. The goodbye you feared is the very moment God uses to begin your better story. Keep your hands open, not for what left, but for what is being placed into them now. Lift your face to whatever small blessing arrives, and when you feel ready, step toward it with a heart that has been tested and found capable of loving wholly again. God says it is finally over, and in that end you have been given something far greater, the chance to be whole, to be free, and to be loved in a way that recognizes your worth from the very first greeting. Stay right here, do not move, because every word from this moment is stitched with the answer you've been waiting for. God says, the chapter you thought defined you has ended, but the story of your true identity is only now unfolding. You are not standing in the ruins of what was lost, you are standing in the doorway of what is being restored. And restoration is always louder than rejection. What was broken is being rewritten in the language of promise. What was taken is being returned with interest. And what walked away has left space for what will never abandon you. Hear this deeply, your heart is not empty, it is prepared. The goodbye that once shattered you has carved a sacred space where something unshakable will soon take root. Imagine the soil after rain, soft, open, ready. That is your spirit right now, and heaven is planting seeds too great for you to see yet. Stay with me until the end, because what is being poured into you in this moment will not be found again if you skip. This is your season of proof. Proof that God never leaves His chosen child unfinished. Proof that even silence is pregnant with new beginnings. Proof that the tears you cried were not wasted but collected like pearls to crown the victory that is already written with your name. Do not confuse absence with abandonment. Absence was God's tool to empty your hands, so they could receive something eternal. The one who said goodbye was not the one who carried your forever. That role is reserved for the one God has been shaping quietly in the background, someone who will not only walk with you but also lift you, see you, and cherish the exact details of your soul. Until then, understand this: your solitude is not loneliness, it is training. It is the fire that makes gold shine. It is the echo that teaches you the sound of your own voice. So remain here, remain still, remain listening, because the next pages of your life are golden, and the ink is still wet. God says, nothing you lost compares to what is coming. The goodbye is not your ending, it is your permission to begin again. Stay until the end, because the moment you step out too soon, you miss the unveiling of what heaven has been preparing in silence. Stay right here, do not let your eyes wander, because in these next words heaven is speaking directly into your future. God says, what looked like the final chapter was never the end, it was only the pause before the orchestra swells. Every silence you have walked through has been sacred, every delay has been divine timing in disguise. The goodbye you faced was not rejection, it was redirection, moving you away from shadows into the brilliance of a love that will not fail you. Listen carefully, your life is not defined by who left, it is defined by who is coming, by what is being prepared, by the destiny that has been waiting for you to clear the weight of yesterday. Stay with me until the end, because every word is unfolding a revelation. God says, your soul is entering a season where laughter will return without effort, where peace will not feel borrowed, where your mornings will begin with ease instead of ache. The chapter of heartbreak has closed, and the book of restoration has opened. Can you feel it? The ground beneath your feet is no longer shaking. It is steady, it is firm, it is the promise that you will not fall again the way you once did. You have been carried through nights that tried to steal your breath, and now dawn is announcing itself in your name. Angels are arranging new encounters, divine meetings that will make you understand why certain doors had to be shut so abruptly. Every no from the past was a divine yes to something greater that is already on its way. Stay present, do not scroll, because the turning point is here. God says, lift your face from the ashes, because beauty has been written over your story. The one who could not hold you has freed you for the one who will treasure you. The one who could not see your worth has stepped aside so that your light can be fully recognized. And you, chosen, refined, and restored, are about to live in the fullness of a promise that no goodbye can ever erase. Stay here, do not let your heart drift, because this moment is carved for you. God says, every time you thought you were forgotten, heaven was silently building the next chapter of your story. The tears you cried in secret did not fall into emptiness. They were gathered, counted, and turned into seeds. And now those seeds are breaking the ground, rising into blessings too great for your eyes to measure. This is why the goodbye had to come first, because no new garden can grow until the old soil is cleared. Listen with your soul, what you lost was never the limit of your destiny. What left was never meant to carry you into forever. You are not standing in ruins, you are standing in foundations. And those foundations are about to carry a house built by grace, by peace, by love that does not leave. Stay with me until the end, because this unveiling is not ordinary. God says, your season of waiting is folding away, and your season of receiving is opening like morning light through a window that has been locked for too long. Do you feel it? That quiet stirring inside you is not fear, it is freedom. Freedom to finally let go of the ache that tried to hold your name hostage. Freedom to walk forward without dragging chains that never belonged to you. Freedom to believe again in a love that will not collapse when storms arrive. Every moment until now was preparation, every ache was training, every silence was a rehearsal for the melody that is about to sing through your days. Stay here, stay present, stay awake, because the blessing is not tomorrow, it is now. God says, you are not just surviving, you are about to flourish. And when you do, even the echoes of goodbye will no longer hurt, they will only remind you of how far you've risen. This is your proof. This is your time. This is your divine turning point. Stay with me, don't move away, because what you are about to hear is the heartbeat of heaven itself. God says, the storm you thought would drown you has already passed, and the sky above you is no longer heavy. The clouds have been commanded to break, and the light that pours through them is your new beginning. You are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, you are rising into the chapter you were always meant to live. Every moment of loss, every goodbye, every silence, it was the soil being tilled for something greater. You thought the ending was a punishment, but God says it was preparation. He did not take away to leave you empty, He cleared space so fullness could finally arrive. Stay with me until the last word, because the secret of your tomorrow is hidden right here. What was broken in your past is not the story that defines you, it is only the evidence that you survived long enough to witness restoration. Listen carefully, the love that left was not your forever. The door that closed was not the end of your house. The person who said goodbye was only a page, not the entire book. And now, God Himself is writing in bold letters, joy, peace, laughter, freedom. These words are your inheritance. These words are what will crown your days ahead. The chapter of sorrow has been buried, and from its ground springs up a future that will astonish even you. Stay locked in, don't scroll, don't look away. Because God says this is the turning point you prayed for when no one else was listening. This is the season when your nights will no longer feel endless, and your mornings will no longer taste bitter. You are walking out of shadows into brilliance. You are stepping out of goodbye into eternal hello. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will be able to steal what God has already placed in your hands. Stay here. Don't let your eyes leave this moment, because what you are about to hear is not chance, it is destiny unfolding. God says, the weight you carried in silence has already been lifted from your shoulders, even if you don't feel it yet. The chains that once bound your steps are lying broken behind you. Every single goodbye that pierced your heart was only clearing a pathway so you could step into what has been waiting for you all along. Listen with every part of your soul. Your tears did not go unnoticed, they were counted, treasured, turned into fuel for the miracles that are about to surround you. The voice that once told you that you were not enough has been silenced forever. The people who could not stay were never meant to finish the journey with you. Their exit was not your loss, it was your release. And now, heaven is opening doors so wide that no hand can shut them. Stay with me until the end, because this is not just a word, it is a revelation. God says, joy will return like sunlight after the longest night. Peace will cover you like a blanket after a cold season. Love will find you in a form you cannot doubt, because it will not leave when storms rise. What once broke you has now prepared you. What once hurt you has now refined you. What once left you empty has made room for a fullness beyond imagination. Feel this deeply, your story is not ending in pain, it is rising in glory. The silence is over. The waiting is over. The loneliness is over. Stay here, keep listening, because the next chapter is already being written in your name. And when you see it, you will not look back with bitterness, you will look back with gratitude, because every ending became the soil of your greatest beginning. Stay with me right now, don't blink, don't scroll, because this very moment is carrying the answer your soul has been waiting for. God says, you thought the silence meant I was absent, but I was building a future so strong it required patience to handle. Every hidden delay was a design, every closed door was protection, every goodbye was a divine release preparing you for what no human hand could take away. Listen closely, your story is not a tragedy, it is a testimony. What tried to break you has only proven that you cannot be destroyed. What left you in tears has positioned you for joy that will overflow without measure. What ended abruptly has cleared the stage for a performance of blessings that will leave you speechless. Stay till the very end, because these words are not ordinary sentences, they are keys unlocking doors in your destiny right now. God says, You will no longer chase after people who cannot value you. You will no longer bend yourself smaller just to be noticed. You will no longer carry the ache of unanswered questions. The chapter of trying to prove yourself is closed, and the chapter of being celebrated for exactly who you are has begun. You are stepping into circles that honor your presence, into moments that affirm your worth, into relationships that mirror heaven's love. And hear this deeply: your tears watered a garden you could not see, but that garden is blooming now. The laughter you thought you lost is returning. The strength you thought was gone is multiplying. The love you thought would never arrive is already walking toward you. Stay present, stay listening, stay believing, because the turning point is not far, it is already here. Stay with me right now, don't look away, because every word that follows is stitched with the light your soul has been craving. God says, the waiting season that felt endless is breaking open, and the silence that felt heavy is turning into music. What you thought was over is only the seed of something greater. The goodbye that once cut deep was never the conclusion, it was the clearing of a path where something unshakable could finally walk in. Hear this truth: you are not defined by the moment someone left, you are defined by the strength you carried when they did. You are not measured by the ending of that chapter, you are measured by the endurance that brought you here. Stay with me until the very last line, because hidden in these words is the very proof that your story is not collapsing, it is ascending. God says, your heart has been trained by fire, but now it will be crowned with gentleness. The pain that once whispered you were unworthy has been silenced forever. What is rising now is not another trial, but a season of laughter that will feel like oxygen returning to your lungs. The places inside you that once echoed empty are being filled, one by one, with blessings that fit perfectly into the gaps. So stay, don't scroll, don't miss this. Because what you are hearing right now is the very confirmation your spirit prayed for in secret. God says, the tears you shed in darkness are the very waters that grew your tomorrow. The ashes you thought were your ending are the very soil of your beginning. And the silence you thought would break you has only built you into a vessel strong enough to carry joy without fear of losing it again. Stay right here, don't even blink, because what you are about to receive is the exact reason heaven refused to let you quit. God says, every ending that shook you was never to destroy you, it was to awaken you. The doors that slammed shut were not rejection, they were redirection. The voices that walked away were not your loss, they were proof that your future is too valuable to be shared with those who cannot carry it. Listen carefully, your life is not behind you, it is rising in front of you. The goodbye you feared was only the curtain falling so that a brighter stage could be revealed. Stay with me until the end, because these words are not just sound, they are alignment, pulling your spirit into the place it was always meant to rest. God says, your pain has graduated into power. The nights that left you trembling have now equipped you to stand in daylight without fear. The emptiness that once haunted you is being filled with peace that no storm can steal. The love that left was not the measure of your worth. The love that is coming will not require you to shrink or beg. It will see you. It will hold you. It will remain. So don't move, stay right here, because this is your turning point. The silence has served its purpose. The waiting has completed its work. And now heaven is placing in your hands the very thing you thought you lost forever: joy that does not fade, love that does not betray, and a future that will not collapse. God says, this is your time, this is your chapter, this is your proof that nothing can end what He has begun in you. Stay here, don't move, because what you are hearing right now is not coincidence, it is a divine appointment. God says, the tears you thought would drown you have already turned into rivers carrying you forward. The moments you thought were wasted are now being stitched into your breakthrough. What looked like failure has been transformed into foundation. You are not at the end of your story, you are at the edge of a brand new chapter. Listen closely, your soul has walked through fire, but you have come out as gold. The goodbye that shook you did not break you, it refined you. The silence you endured was not abandonment, it was the space where heaven was rearranging your future. Stay with me until the very last word, because what is unfolding for you now will make sense of every unanswered question. God says, the weight that pressed against you has already lifted. The doors that felt sealed are unlocking. The love that is meant for you is not far, it is closer than you believe. And it will not look like what left, it will not sound like what broke you, it will not disappear when storms come. This love will be steady, constant, eternal, because it is aligned with the promise written over your life. So don't scroll, don't look away. Because this moment is proof that your story is not ordinary. You were never called to settle in shadows, you were chosen to rise in light. The pain that marked you has now crowned you with strength. The nights that emptied you have filled you with wisdom. And the goodbye that once shattered you has now become the doorway to joy you will not lose again. God says, this is your moment, this is your release, this is your rise.